Like old school Italy?
No, like college hooch.
Stump on the grape. Oh, stump. College hooch over. Stump on the grapes.
Yeah.
You're looking at college hooch, yeah.
They're taking the Crown Royal whiskey.
Yeah.
And then taking those luscious Georgia peaches and just letting it sit in the bathtub.
Nice. Maybe that's the way they're doing it.
Hello, and welcome everyone to episode 92 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you're going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Anthony and Steven. Hello, sir.
Hello, the best bourbon conversation ever.
People may say otherwise after this episode.
You think so?
I don't know. We'll see.
I got high hopes for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of high hopes, new year, new you, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know anything about that. But
I am trying to exercise.
Okay.
And I've noticed something that I feel very embarrassed about people that do this.
Okay, let's hear it.
So,
fanny packs?
damn close.
Okay, all right. I like fanny packs.
So,
now we're talking.
It's 2023 now, right?
I think so.
We
Yeah,
have Bluetooth.
Yeah.
We have smartwatches.
Yep.
Right. And they can connect. So you can put your music on your watch and you can have your wireless headphones and you can be free. When you run, when you exercise, and do anything. I don't understand why people have those 1990s arm straps that hold their phone.
Oh, you mean the ones
on
that
the bicep,
right across the top of the bicep?
Yeah. They have the clear plastic top that go around. I mean, phones now are huge.
Yeah,
and so you got this massive object strapped to your arm.
Look like a cyborg running down a street.
That can't be comfortable with sweating. And,
there's no way that's comfortable.
Or could you control it?
So did you observe this in the gym setting, or did you see this at like
out and about?
So you're just out running miles and you see people that all have these things strapped to them?
I'm like, why are you still using this thing?
Do you think it's because they can't afford the watch? They're like,
I mean, they have a 6-inch phone. I mean, I think they can afford a $200 watch.
Let me ask you an honest question here. So if you didn't have, okay, let's think about this. I'm trying to be objective because you do more running than I do. Mm-hmm. And you do more gym work than I do, right? Okay. I'm going to get to the gym, though. That's my New Year's thing, too.
You should come with me.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Over to the theory?
The Orange Theory?
Okay, yeah. Maybe I will. I'll be there for 5 minutes and not to carry me out. But no. So where else would you put, like, so if I'm say I am the guy that doesn't have technology and I want to go for a run and I don't have the armband that goes around my bicep, what do I do with my phone? Do I put it in my pocket and just run down the street? Or what
I
do
don't bring a phone. Like, the less, the better.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm saying, like, what do I do if all my music's on my phone?
Put it on your watch.
What if I don't have a watch?
Well, I mean, you got to, if you're going to do an activity, I mean, make yourself comfortable.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I'm trying to make myself comfortable, but I just don't. I'm playing devil's advocate here, but
well, I mean, I had a watch and I had those, everyone's like crappy $20 Amazon Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah,
for a while before I got other ones.
Yep,
and they work great.
Okay,
I mean, I have no problems with people using cheaper things. I mean, just the armband just seems so antiquated nowadays.
It does. And here's the thing. See, Steven's telling you guys he's not bougie, right? When it comes to running, he's not like running around going like, I got to have the finest things when I run. He's just saying he wants it to not be the bicep strap. Yeah. So
like when I could run with music on my watch, and wireless headphones,
then that's it.
The amount of freedom I felt, was unbelievable. It was almost euphoric.
Did you feel connected to Tim Cook, Apple's CEO, when you were doing that? Were you like, thank you, Tim?
Well, I don't have an Apple Watch.
Oh, you don't? Okay. No. Well, then never mind. See, that just...
I have a Garmin watch.
There you go. See, so just forget about me.
There's no Apple products in my running.
Oh, really?
I mean, I have everything else, but that's that.
One more thing. You mentioned to me that distance runners have different apparel that they can wear.
Running gear can get very expensive.
Yeah, it can get expensive. But you mentioned that there's shorts.
If you go distance shorts, they usually have a zipper in the back of the short.
Okay.
Because you need energy.
Okay.
And so you can stick supplies back there.
So you stick supplies in your bum bum.
That's
what you do?
That's where you're trying to get to.
So couldn't you, instead of having your phone strapped to your bicep, you could buy the distance shorts. You got your little zipper back there, and you can stick the phone in your bum bum.
You could. You could.
Well, there you go. We've come full circle now. I think that's maybe the solution to your problem. You could stop somebody that's running with that strap on their bicep and tell them, hey, did you ever think about getting some distance shorts?
The problem is those shorts are probably 3 times the price he paid for those.
That's true.
That arm strap.
So we're not getting any more pragmatic solutions here. We're just back at the start, which is, things are expensive.
They are.
And so if you can't afford the watch and you can't afford the bum bum shorts, then you go back to the bicep strap. That's the cheapest thing.
Go.
That's maybe why people are wearing the bicep strap.
Well, I guess when it comes to $15 or $20 running socks, on top of that, I mean, I guess they have to cut corners.
I love it because I'm not involved. So that's why it's so funny to me.
Speaking of bum bums, we got another review that we need to catch up on today.
That's right, we do, and this one actually comes from our buddies over at Arsenic Culture.
That's why I said bum bum.
That's why I said bum bum for fun.
Yeah.
So the title of this review is Bourbon for Everyone. So the review that was left by Arsenic says, "I love the show. Has something for everyone, from the people just starting to enjoy bourbon to the most experienced connoisseur. Keep up the good work, fellas." And so, as I mentioned before, Arsenic Culture is a combination of Jason and Matt, and they do a YouTube and also podcast that they put out not every week, but every couple weeks. And I recently appeared on their show, and we are hoping to have them on our show at some point in time in the future. So we really appreciate that review.
And give them a listen, and please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And next time we record, we will give you a shout out. Anthony.
Yes, sir. Why are you looking so sad?
I'm not sad.
Okay.
I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed? This is the worst. I mean, we've never had this happen before.
So, Anthony.
Yes.
For this week, we have what was previously a very sought after bottle.
Yes.
I don't know if it's sought after anymore, but here it is. We have a bottle of Crown Royal Peach.
Crown Royal Peach flavored whiskey coming to us from the Crown Royal Distillery in Gimli, Manitoba. So this is owned by Diageo. The bottle date is 2020. Nice. The ABV is 35%. The proof is 70. This is a non-age stated whiskey. The mash bill, well, Crown Royal has 5 different mash bills. And if you go on their website, they talk about distilling it through 12 columns or whatever. I don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, the MSRP on this peach-flavored whiskey is $24.99.
Very accessible.
Very accessible. So, looking at the bottle, sir, it looks just like every other Crown Royal bottle, only it's noticeably got some different colors.
It's peachy.
It's very peachy.
Yeah.
It actually... The whole thing just embodies peach. And there's really not more else to it than that. It has your classic top, crown, which is a crown. And on the front, it's got like this pillowy
thing. Yeah.
Imported by Norwalk, Connecticut, the Crown Royal Company, whatever that is. Apparently, they import it from Canada because you can't just bring it down because of taxes and stuff. But... did you want to indulge us on this little story here, sir?
It says, to create this extraordinary blend, Crown Royal whiskeys are carefully selected by our master blender to infuse with the juicy flavor of fresh Georgia peaches.
Ooh.
So I guess they import the Georgia peaches.
The Georgia peaches go from Georgia all the way up to Canada. Then they get infused into that delicious whiskey.
Once picked... the peaches are de-stoned. That's an anti-biblical term, I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
Pressed and strained to preserve their bright flavor. Who wrote this?
I don't know. It's so good. You got to keep going now.
Who wrote this?
Who wrote it? But you got to keep going. Yeah. It's just,
man. You can mix this with iced tea for a refreshing cocktail.
Oh, really? Well, we're not going to mix it with iced tea. We're going to sip it neat.
That's scary.
That is a little scary.
It's a great story. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I think I'll read it to my kids next time they go to bed.
I think that's just the kind of story you need to read to your kids. It's a good bedtime story.
Yeah. This is 70 proof.
Mm-hmm. You a little worried about that? Might be a little too proofy.
I literally don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it either. 70 proof is like just an odd number.
It's like no man's land.
Yeah. It's like, why not just make it 68.1 proof?
You could do that.
Yeah. So this is pretty, the bottle and the presentation are somewhat unremarkable. There's that orange bag that it comes with, which reminds us both of what?
Puke, Tennessee.
Puke, Tennessee. Yeah. Sorry if you're listening in Tennessee, but yeah, we're in Kentucky here. We don't really care for you. I mean, we care for you. We just don't care for you.
Gatlinburg's great.
Yeah, Gatlinburg
Dolly's great.
Yeah, Dolly.
Nashville. I got married in Nashville.
Love yeah. See, I didn't know that. See, we love to come down and hang out in your state, but as far as your teams go and everything else, not a big fan there. So no, yeah. Anyway, so enough knocking on Tennessee just because of this orange bag. So Crown Royal makes a lot of stuff,
Yes, I do. We reviewed them in the past.
Yep. We had a more premium review if I remember correctly. Yeah. But they make a lot of stuff, and this whiskey that we're going to be sipping eventually today comes from what's known as their flavor series. And so the flavor series is actually something that they have in addition to their other premium whiskeys and their mainline whiskeys. And the other flavors that they have are Texas Mesquite.
That's an interesting name. I think of barbecue when you say that.
Maybe they put barbecue chips in it. I don't know. I didn't read about what it is. They also have vanilla, which sounds very vanilla. They have salted caramel, which came out, I think, around 17. It was a very big holiday favorite.
Okay.
I actually tried that a long time ago, and I thought it was pretty good.
Straight, or did you mix it?
No, I tried it straight. My buddy, good buddy of mine named Seth, that I know from Northeast Ohio and lived in Lexington for a while, he really liked it, and he's the one that had me have a pour of it at his house one time when he lived down here in Lexington, and I actually liked it. And the other one is apple. And then listen to this. So in addition to the Texas Mesquite, vanilla, salted caramel, apple, and peach, they actually have 2 retired flavor series whiskeys. Can you believe that?
Retired.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a company retiring, like a bourbon?
Yeah, they're like Hall of Fame. This is a Hall of Fame, retire the flavor. But they had maple and honey. Those have been retired. And so Peach debuted in 2019 and initially was met with massive, massive fanfare. Do you remember that?
I remember us talking about this on a side topic on the pod.
We did. I think it was really early on because we were caught up in the hysteria that was the Crown Peach hysteria. Mm-hmm. So this was so crazy that it used to sell out. And even in our local enthusiast groups, people would post, Liquor Barn's got Crown Royal Peach back in stock, and people be like, "Oh, really?" Or so and so, like, "I saw it on the shelf; it's not there anymore." But people were like running out and buying this to the point where they started limiting it to 1 per bottle when it first came out.
$25.
For $25, it was limited to 1 per bottle, which is freaking crazy.
I poured this into our glass here, and some dripped down the side, and it's very sticky.
Oh, you mean like sticky, like pancake syrup sticky?
Yeah, that's kind of concerning. That it's going to be very sweet or thick.
Yeah.
Versus like a normal whiskey.
Well, I was wondering what you were doing over there when I said, like, oh, Steven's making a face. It's because I
touched it and it was like tacky. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah. I do wonder what it's going to taste like. And it's funny because they don't fashion this in the advertising or even anywhere on the bottle as like a cordial type of thing. So we don't taste a lot of flavored whiskeys on here. I mean, we taste finished whiskeys.
Yeah.
But do you remember when we tasted the Ballantines chocolate?
I do.
Was that chocolate mint or
mint chocolate? Yeah.
Mint chocolate. That was pretty interesting because that one was tried not to be. I mean, at least they said they had candy and stuff in it. This one's supposed to be real Georgia peaches.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting to think about it as a whiskey still, and not like as something that's more of like a cordial or a liqueur. Because you're saying it kind of feels like it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm getting a little bit worried.
Well, Anthony, let's go ahead and nose this thing.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Well, I'm getting cinnamon.
Come on.
Allspice.
Yeah.
Cherries. And oak.
No, God.
No, I'm just kidding. It's peach.
It's peach. There's nothing but peach. You had me going there for a second. I was actually looking at you like, is he serious? Is he actually getting cinnamon and allspice? I mean, the only thing that I could get aside from peach is maybe a tad of vanilla, which is why I said that. Yeah. It almost has like so what is it? Orange cream, like
Orange-sicle?
like an orange creamsicle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you replace the orange with peach, like a peach creamsicle is kind of the nose that I'm getting.
Are you saying it kind of tastes a little milky?
Yeah, like a peaches and cream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's easy. It's easy.
Not taste and smells. It smells milky.
It's very easy to nose.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's 70 proof.
Yeah,
and there's no ethanol bouncing out.
It almost and so here's where it gets a little bit weird for me. You think about colognes and perfumes and other kind of aromatic things. That's kind of what it reminds me of, right? So when you nose a bourbon, yes, of course you'd be like, oh, I wish it was in the Rick House, but does anybody really want to go around smelling like the Rick House? I feel like this could be a fragrance, right?
It's like when KFC has those Yule logs. Like, do you really want your house in the fireplace to smell like a KFC?
Some people might. Might.
No,
but that's a good analogy. Though. Like this does kind of smell like it could be a candle. Like if you lit one of those candles to make your house smell better or whatever, this might be what it smells like.
Cream.
Yeah, peaches and cream. Or so it's really interesting as we're nosing this, and you kind of already talked about it. But this idea that they're mixing or infusing regular Crown Royal with luscious
Georgia peaches.
Mm-hmm. To make it for this sweet finish. And so if you go on their website, they don't really tell you a lot about when that process happens. And so I wonder, like, if you've distilled, naturally you've had to have distilled and aged the whiskey. And then when do you flavor it and how do you flavor it? I've always kind of wondered that. You blend it to taste and then you drop the peach in there. Like what I mean, like the juice in there. Like how do you think when do you think they flavor it?
So it's kind of like a casking, you would think, right?
Well, I would think that they might put it in, but if they're going to put it in a cask, like I would think they would age the whiskey first. Unless, do you think they infuse the barrel or put it in there with the whiskey and let it age together? That's what I wonder, because they don't really tell you how they infuse it. I guess it's probably a proprietary process, though. They wouldn't want everybody to know it because then everybody would be making peach-flavored whiskey, right? The way they do it. But I don't think they tell you at what point in the process it actually happens.
With a fruit like this, I'm imagining a bathtub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like old school Italy?
No, like college hooch.
Stomp on the grapes. Oh, stomp. College hooch over. Stomp on the grapes.
Yeah.
You're like a college hooch, yeah.
They're taking the Crown Royal whiskey and then taking those luscious Georgia peaches and just letting it sit in the bathtub.
Nice. Maybe that's the way they're doing it. You think that's how they infuse it? I like it.
Yeah.
And then they're destoning them first, so they're getting the pits out, and they're just slicing them up, throwing them in the bathtub. I might like to eat the peaches after they soaked in the whiskey a little bit. Don't you think that would be good?
Maybe that's the way they're doing it.
Yeah. Well, they say that they press.
Can you imagine if this is a pick bottle, and that's the picture they chose to put on the back of it?
Just a whole bunch of bathtub full of peaches.
Bathtub hooch picture.
That's some good hooch. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a good one. But, it's funny. On their website, they don't really talk about, it says in their official advertising things, they said, made the signature smoothness of traditional Crown Royal, our peach-flavored whiskey will enhance a cozy cocktail party or rooftop celebration. You going to celebrate on the rooftop with this?
Downtown, maybe.
Maybe downtown, yeah. This is summer. But it says, enjoy the whiskey mixed with iced tea for a refreshing cocktail. So it seems like they're pushing the iced tea angle. They really want you to mix it with some iced tea, but we're not going to mix it.
I'm not a big iced tea fan.
Well, you're not a big iced tea fan, and you've told me before you're not a big peach fan. So This is right up your alley this week. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad I could provide this experience, Stephen. They're recommending we do all these things with it, but we're about to do what?
Drink it neat.
There we go.
Oh, let's go for it.
All righty. Ooh.
It tastes like a peach-flavored children's Tylenol.
Yeah.
It's super thick.
Yeah.
Super sweet.
I can feel the headache coming on already for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to pucker it to drink it straight.
Yeah. It's sweet.
Yeah,
sweet.
It's really sweet.
So, it's really interesting. I actually was poking around here on my computer as we were taking the sip, and I pulled up Total Wine to see the reviews. And the first 5 reviews, I can't even believe them. They're things like my brother's favorite drink. They're like, not too sweet, not as sweet
not
as
too
I thought.
Sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Like people really.
I mean, it's so sweet, it's sticky on the side of the glass.
It's like, let's put it this way. You know, what's that guy on the diabetes commercials, Wilford or whatever? You know, like he's not drinking this, right? Oh,
man, that's hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to get down. I think this might be one I might actually end up shooting right out of the Glencairn. Just drink it down and forget about it.
So if this was a mix, again, let's get back to this proof.
Yep.
It seems high for a mixer, right?
Well, think about this. Take a glass of iced tea and pour 2 or 3 ounces of this in there.
Then it's stronger.
It's going to probably.
Then that's fine then. Right? Yeah. Fair point.
And I'm not, listen, guys, one thing we don't try not to do on the mashup is throw a family under the bus, but I'm going to tell you a quick story here while we're talking about this. My dad is a Crown Royal fan, okay? Now, my dad's not a big drinker, but when we were on vacation, I think it was 2 years ago, I think I may have talked about this in a previous episode, but I'll just remind everybody. I had a bottle of Crown Royal Peach, and the reason why I brought it, because I thought like we could make drinks with it, like summery drinks. Well, nobody really got into it. I don't know if I put it away and we forgot about it, but like my dad saw it and was like, what's that? It's like Crown Royal Peach. He's like, oh, well, just put some rocks in a glass, pour some in there. Let me taste it, you know? So I did that and he was like, oh, that's good. I like that. So on rocks, like a big bunch of rocks.
I was saying it'll be a lot of rocks.
To dilute it a little bit, he actually liked the flavor of it on the rocks. And so he didn't have a lot of it, but he had like, you know, a decent, like maybe 3 or 4 ounces total of it on the rocks. And he enjoyed it. So maybe we're just doing it wrong here tonight by staying true to our tasting. Maybe we need to mix it in.
Yeah. I mean, the back did say mix with iced tea.
Iced tea.
So they're implying that we need ice.
Ice. Want some ice cube in your iced tea?
Yeah.
Are you getting any other notes besides when you taste this, besides peach? Because I don't even know if I'm getting any vanilla. It's been a long time since a Crown Royal, but Crown Royal comes in like, I think, 80 proof itself or like 90 or whatever it is. So it's not strong to begin with. And this is, I think it's 80 proof actually. So this is just, this is an all around weird experience tonight.
It's almost like unfair that it's getting evaluated when it seems like just with the level of sweetness that it needs to be mixed with something.
Well, that's actually where they're going. That's where Crown Royal is going. Did you know that?
To a mix?
Yeah, they've been expanding their market share, and what they're doing right now is a lot of RTDs, something that was near and dear to our heart when we talked about it when Brother Michael was on the podcast.
Still enjoy them.
Yeah, still enjoy them, right? Yeah. So your seltzers, your RTDs, or your cocktails in the cans and stuff like that. So Crown Royal's really made a move with Diageo, of course. It's no surprise, where they have 4 types of RTDs, and one utilizing their peach flavored whiskey. Those 4 RTDs are Washington apple. You ever had a Washington apple shot?
I don't think so.
I'm probably wrong about this, but I think the Washington apple shots I have are cranberry vodka and Crown Royal. But anyway, they have that RTD. They have cola and whiskey, which my brother-in-law got when we were on vacation this past year. It was gross.
Yeah, a lot of those cola things I don't like because it's just super sweet.
It was bad.
And it's like some crap cola.
Yep. My brother-in-law got it, took a sip of it, didn't like it, and handed it to me and said, try this. I took a sip of it, was like, oh, man. I'm like, I'm not turning down the alcohol if it's palatable. And I just dumped it down the sink right then and there because it was not good. And so they have the cola and whiskey, they have peach tea, and their newest is a whiskey lemonade. So those are their 4 RTDs that they have in the market. And of course, the one peach tea is most closely associated with this whiskey because they're using that whiskey in the blend. So that's one I might try. I might try it.
At least, I guess it's mixed appropriately.
Hopefully you'd hope. If it's anything like the cola, though, and the cola one was like, I mean, how do you mess up Crown and Coke? But it's not Coke. It's some other off-brand cola or something. So,
So, Anthony, would you pass, try, or buy on the Crown Royal Peach Whisky?
Oh, man. Well, here's what I'm going to say, and you guys probably already know what I'm going to say. Like, if you are a bourbon whiskey drinker, if you drink rye, if you drink anything that's mainstream, like spirits that we talk about week to week on this podcast, you're not going to buy this, and I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to pass hard because it's not what you're looking for if you're looking for a sipper. It may be a mixer, but I think it's got to be for the right person. You really got to like peach, and you really got to like sweet flavored spirits to be able to enjoy this. So I'm pass all the way.
Yes. I'm going to be pass.
Yes. And you don't even, so for somebody who doesn't really particularly like peach, as you said, when you should have seen Steven's face when he pulled his bottle out, he was like, oh God. He's like, I don't even like peaches.
Yeah.
And I was like, how are you going to even participate then if you don't like peaches? So even for that, any redeeming quality to you?
No, it's just too sweet. This could have been Crown Royal Orange.
Yeah.
And if it's still too sweet, which is funny for me to say because I like sweets.
Yep.
But it's just too thick and that whole like, thickness. I mean, maybe this is good in an iced tea if you like tea, but I don't like tea.
Yep. Well, it's funny. We should have like another category to this because it's really pass, try, or buy for what it is in the glass tonight. But I think that if you're looking across what people probably are doing with this, then I could see how people might go crazy and buy it off the shelf because, hey, if you're out on the lake, if you're by the beach, and you pour 3 ounces of this in a 12-ounce iced tea with a bunch of ice in it.
I bet you that has to be unsweet tea, though.
Unsweet tea, whatever it is.
Because if you take super sweet tea or sweet tea, and then
it'd probably be, yeah.
It'd be puckering.
But I could see how that would be an enjoyable drink. It would be definitely...
on ice.
On ice, sugary, fruity, and like kind of hit the vibe that you want.
Yeah.
So I guess for anybody who's like a crazy Crown Royal fan and might really like peach... Like I get the appeal, but we're not. It's not for us.
No.
As we were sipping this, I was thinking to myself, there may be people out there who actually really like this, and that's okay. And the reason why I'm saying it's okay is because obviously there's people like my wife. If I put bourbon near her, she's like, "Oh God, I don't like the smell. I don't like anything."
Ditto.
I feel like she would probably enjoy this, even though it's a 70 proof whiskey.
Does she like sweet things?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that if this were mixed right or whatever, she might enjoy it. And so I can't say anything bad about the category in terms of I get why there's a flavored whiskey and why this is popular. Like I actually read an article saying that this was hotter than most allocated bourbons when it first came out. That's how hard it was to keep in stock.
Yeah.
And people give Crown Royal a lot of crap, but Crown Royal I think is the number 2 selling whiskey maybe in the world behind like Jack Daniel's. So they sell a lot of products. So I get it. You know what I mean? And kind of makes me think about like the larger category. And it's like, if you like something in whiskey, you like it. Does it matter if I like it or if you like it?
No.
It really doesn't.
We're just two people.
We're just two people talking about whiskey. And so I think that that's an important thing to remember because a lot of people there's a lot of jealousy and hate in whiskey. And what I mean by that is like, if you get really into like bourbon and, people worried about what other people have and stuff like that, but somebody might find enjoyment in a bottle of Crown Royal Peach,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. That's
apparently
actually
a lot of people did.
And still do. It was limited edition when it was released in 2019, and now it's still a limited edition, but it's being released in mass in 2022. So, I mean, I guess when it comes to whiskey, it's like I said it before, you do you, and who cares what anybody else says, right?
That's right. I'm glad Georgia could keep up. And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY. Also, let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.